How you doing, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is about this Rogers Dyna-Sonic Snare Drum. Rogers drums are back, ladies and gentlemen, an iconic American brand that was around for a really long time, started way back in the 1800s. Had a heyday in the 50s and 60s. Guys like Buddy Rich and a lot of famous drummers played these Rogers Dyna-Sonic snare drums. They sort of went away for a little bit, and now they're back, and boy, they've made a dead ringer of the drums they made back in the 50s and 60s. So we're going to get into all of the details of this snare drum right now. The shell on this snare drum is 5 plies. Thick. It has a maple poplar combination of woods. It also has some reinforcement rings, and this particular version is 6.5 by 14. It has this great looking black pearl wrap. There's a few different colors in this Dyna-Sonic range. There's a white marine pearl, a silver sparkle, and this black pearl wrap here. What makes these Dyna-Sonic snare drums so cool is that the way they put the drum together and the hardware that's on the shell makes and creates a really distinct sound that even the most soft hit that you hit on the drum is heard to the loudest, anywhere in between. It's super sensitive from the edge to the center. Just a really nice feeling snare drum. So let's get into some of those details right now. Snare wires on. Has a really good feel in the hands. You know, that sensitivity is really nice because you can play really quiet if you have to. Or loud. Got great sustain and a lot of features that you can use to dampen this drum right here on the drum without putting anything on the drum head. So right here, I'm going to show you on the side of the drum here is a dampener that's built into the shell. Let me take a step back. I'm going to take the head off and show you the inside of the drum here before this video is over so you can see everything I'm describing. But there's a dampener. Old school drums, gosh, back in the 50s and 60s, had these dampeners on the inside. And it's a great feature because it takes away the use for moon gel and anything else like that. So you'll hear the drum tighten up as I turn the dampener on. And it's basically just going up and touching the batter head. Here we go. So wide open right now. Now the drum has a really tight, distinct sound. Check it out. Every stroke, every hit is totally heard, just like even the loudest hits. It's a really nice feature. The hoops on these drums are 1.6 millimeter triple flanged hoops. They have a nice feel in the hand. You get a good side stick sound. Demonstrate that for you right now. Definitely loud and projects. The lugs on this Rogers drums are called bread and butter lugs, and they're exact replicas of the lugs they had back in the 50s and 60s. Really nice look, and it goes well with this black pearl wrap here. But now let me get into the part of this snare drum that makes it really special and unique and different than any other that I know of. This is what I wanted to show you right here, the Snare Rail. It's a completely unique design where the snare wires are connected to this rail. See, it lifts up. And what that does is it makes it so the snare wires do not choke the bottom head. Now, if you've played drums for any time at all, you know what snares look like on the bottom of the drum. They're tied on to the strainer and the butt plate on the other side. And usually the snare wires touch the head all the way across, and then it's getting pulled onto the resonant head by the strainer. Well, this does the same kind of thing, but what this does is it makes the snare wires just lay completely flat all the way across the drum, and it does not pull down on either side by the strainer, okay? The strainer pulls up this snare plate, this snare rail, and the snare wires just lay completely flat all the way across the drum, and you get no choking at all. It does not deaden out your snare one bit. It's a really cool, unique system. Another really cool feature about this snare rail is the wire tension adjustment. It's this screw piece right here. You tighten it to where you like it, and then it stays. It's not going to get loosened up at all because that screw really keeps the tension just where you want it. The throw-off and strainer, really nice and really easy to use. They call this their Clockface Strainer because it has a round look with the logo in the middle. It is super easy to get back and forth. Now, the playing example at the beginning, I threw the snare wires on and off while I was playing because it really is just smooth as silk. You can just flick it with a finger really fast and go back and forth really easily. And while I'm here, let me show you what the butt plate side of the strainer looks like. A nice visual feature is the old school Rogers badge in their script right here. Now before I take the head off and show you the inside of the drum, let me play it a little bit more for you because it is so much fun to play. So it's so easy to turn the snare wires to super loose, kind of on, kind of off, and back and forth while you're playing. It just really makes for a nice, lively playing experience with your snare drum. You do get a few goodies in the box when you get your Rogers Dyna-Sonic snare drum, and I think this is really neat. You get a sheet on telling you how to tune your snare drum, on how the snare rail works, and all the details there. So it's really good information to check out. You also get a nice Rogers sticker. Put on your kick drum or your car window, whatever. You get the same Rogers badge that comes on the snare drum in their kind of script, and you also get a drum key. So nice little accoutrements to add to your Dyna-Sonic snare drum. Okay, let's get into the inside of this snare drum. I loosened all the lug screws. Put that right down there. And this is really just a gorgeous snare drum on the inside. They've stained and finished the wood. It's absolutely beautiful. And here is the dampener I was telling you about. And there's the screw on the side. When you turn it back and forth, it just kind of rises and lowers, and it gently touches the batter head or touches it a lot, depending on how much dampening you want. It's a nice old school feature. With the head off the drum and seeing the inside of the shell, you can really see the plies of the drum, how beautiful the drum is made, and the perfect bearing edge. It's so smooth to the touch. It's really nice, and I just love the stained inside of this drum shell. There you have it, everybody, the Rogers Dyna-Sonic snare drum. The legend snare drum returns in a big way. This is a 6.5 by 14 version. There's a 5 by 14, comes in 3 colors. This is the black diamond pearl. There's a white marine pearl and a silver sparkle. Fantastic snare drums. Definitely want to think about adding one to your collection. If you want any more information about this Rogers product or any other Rogers product, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks a lot for watching.